Welcome to the Way Out Recovery Hour. I'm Bob Sharits, and another wonderful Monday to listeners out there. You know, every week we come in here and we remind everyone of the opportunity to make a decision on how you want your week to go. Many people dread Mondays. They, are looking at this big, giant week in front of them with all these things we got to check off the list. And I want you to take this opportunity to take a moment, take a breath, think about all the things that you have to be grateful for in your life and all the wonderful opportunities we have in front of us to help others this week, to help ourselves in growing, and to meet these wonderful opportunities that we have head on, and to take advantage of this beautiful life that's sitting in front of us. We are the Way Out Recovery Hours, brought to you by the Way Out Intensive Outpatient Program for adolescents and adults. We are located on the corner of Plum and Bouquet Canyon. Our phone number is 296-4444, or go to our website at thewayoutrocoveryscv.com. Remember, if you're sitting out there listening and you or a loved one or someone you know is in need of treatment or needs to be talked to, or you're having trouble yourself, that asking for help is the first step. That you can make dramatic changes in your life if you just ask for help and let those around you assist you and guide you in the recovery process. You know, we are a relatively new treatment center in town, but I've been out here my entire life, and I've been helping folks for about the last 10 or 11 years. And I just love to do that. So please reach out to me or somebody else, if not us. Your pastor, your clergyman, your teacher, law enforcement, family member, somebody, and just ask for the help that you need and get started on this wonderful recovery process. In the world of professional addiction counseling, I've had the opportunity in my life to meet a lot of people that have dedicated their lives to helping others. In studio with us today, we have Kevin Pisano. Pisano. Sure. I tried.
Sure.
Who is a pastor at Real Life Church and also the outreach coordinator, outreach specialist.
Yeah, local outreach pastor. Yeah.
Local outreach pastor. And we were having a conversation before we came into the studio. And, I'll let Kevin talk about what has led him to do God's work in this community and in helping others. But it's, another opportunity for me to meet somebody who's dedicating their life to the service of others.
Yeah, man.
It's an honor and a privilege to have you in studio with us today, Kevin.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
Yep.
Than's for inviting me. It's awesome. First time on KHTS radio.
Oh, really?
I'm a
man,
newbie.
we should have some kind of special celebration.
Greenhorn, yeah.
We did. We put up all these early
Christmas
decorations for you.
Cool.
Well, if you're listening, so check this out. You can't start decorating Christmas until when?
Yeah, after Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, folks.
That's a pastoral rule. Yeah, I'm trying to make that happen.
That's right. We're a little early for Christmas.
For my own sake, yeah.
But we love it. Some of us love Christmas, the holiday season. Some people are like, I'm the more the merrier, man. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So today we're going to talk about Real Life Church. We're going to talk about all the wonderful outreach you do. But I want to ask you a question. How did you find yourself in real life doing what you're doing today?
Yeah, man, it's a really long story. I mean, let me try to compact it.
We got plenty of time.
Yeah, I got an hour. Right? So, I was a plumber for 18 years, and just kind of lived my life. Never went to church. Didn't grow up in church, and God grabbed a hold of me back in '98, and I just never looked back. And I started going to Bible college in 2004. I felt like I needed to know a little bit more about the Bible, and I felt responsible for people that were coming to my marriage groups that my wife and I were having at our home. We did a home Bible study, and I just felt like theologically responsible. I felt the weight of I needed more knowledge, and so I started going to school and just chipped away 2 classes a semester. It literally took me 6.5 years to get a Bible college degree. I was working full time and having kids and family and going to school at night. It was really changed my whole life, literally my whole life. I used to get up really early in the morning and kind of go to bed early, and ever since college I've been a night owl because I had to be, and I just never went back.
Night classes.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Well, and I bet as an adult too, you get a whole new appreciation for school when you're not. I guess when I was in high school, I'm like, oh, I didn't want to be here. When I started
Yeah.
going back to college as an adult, I'm like, wow, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's focusing on what you're called to do and stuff. Yeah. So,
Well, and
yeah.
it's neat to hear, that you are in touch enough to be able to recognize that God is pointing you in a direction for you to help others, because that's a big leap of faith.
Yeah.
From plumber to pastor.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's so true. Actually, you talk about plumber to pastor. One of my professors wrote an article about me that I went from
Called
plumber to
Plumber to
pastor.
Pastor.
Yeah, and I had within 10,000 easy steps. It's so yeah. It's been a really long. Fun journey, a really long, fun journey. I mean, just changing my habits of studying and learning and all that stuff was a really long road. When I came to faith in Jesus, I knew I had to do something. Not that I had to pay back God for anything, but I spent so much of my life, just absorbed with myself and selfishness, that I just felt like I had to give back in whatever tangible way that I could. And it really started with my gifts, that God had naturally put in me. That I was working with my hands. As a plumber, that stuff's easy. Always working with my hands is always easy for me. So it was just building things and doing stuff, and so I always felt like I had to give back. And when I became a pastor on staff at a church, that was really my focus. My focus was to get the church to stop setting chairs up in a circle, so to speak, and staring at each other, and really be externally focused and get out in the community. And so my first real full-time pastoral job was over at Shepherd of the Hills Church in Porter Ranch, and I was a small groups pastor, so I was writing curriculum and stuff like that. But I was always really encouraging our small group leaders to encourage their small groups, their people in their small groups, to get out and serve, in whatever way they could, to just get away from themselves and get out of their own way and really look to others as being important. So.
Well, and it's a wonderful philosophy. I tell you, one of the things that we do in addiction recovery is we try to cut away any of the obstacles that may be standing in between somebody accessing recovery or treatment and then getting that. And sometimes people aren't able to necessarily get up and walk into a church, and we got to take it out to them, right? We got to take the recovery to them.
Yep.
And so doing outreach is just an amazing thing. When you get to walk through the community and interact with people and talk about such a wonderful thing. We're talking about God.
Yeah.
We're talking about really turning ourselves towards good, doing the right thing, changing our lives. And when you start to open up those kind of really deep and big conversations in the community, my experience is that you just, you're overflowing with sort of gratitude on the conversations and the people that you meet.
Yeah, man, it's so true. I didn't grow up in church, so I always hated when people came up to me and tried to share their faith. I always hated that. So being a local outreach pastor at Real Life, I get to really encourage people to be Jesus. Right where they're at. They don't have to slam the Bible down someone's throat. They need to live it out.
Right.
And the living it out part is really what Jesus wants for us to do. And it's really great that I get to encourage folks and encourage, the folks at Real Life Church to do that. And they respond well to it. Yeah.
Well, and there's a real art to, God, how do I put this? There's a real art to being able to sort of convince somebody to embrace what has worked for you or what is working for you without having that door automatically shut from previous prejudice or whatever somebody is carrying around with them. There's a real art in those conversations to be able to get somebody to see that there's some real benefits in believing or following this practice right here without feeling like you're preaching, correct?
Yeah, for sure. And I think at Real Life, Pastor Rusty does a really great job of engaging the community really well, and I think all of our staff members do that really well, where we just engage the community in a very tangible way. All of our messages at the church are very they're topical, they're very practical, and that opens up the door for people to go, hey man, this is for me. This is real life stuff. This Bible thing that we're looking at, this old old piece of literature, but it still rings true today. And so we try to really focus in on that. Over at Real Life, our mission is to help people find and follow Jesus, and we do that in such a tangible way. And we do it by really our target audience is the unchurched or dechurched, really people that have had never been at church before, which is something I totally understand. I got that. I always thought of church as being something really weird in the past, and to be honest, there's a lot of weird churches out there. So some of it's true, right?
Well, they all have their different rituals, and
Yes.
sometimes you can walk in to something that doesn't feel right for you.
Yes,
and be
that's
really,
true.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's why the Bible says we're the body of Christ. We all have different purposes and different parts and stuff like that. But I really feel like our part is to, at Real Life, is to really be in the community and really be the hands and feet of Jesus in a tangible way. And again, people respond really well to that.
So you ended up at Real Life. How long you been with Real Life?
I've been with Real Life for about 2.5 years, but I've been working with them with the previous church that I was a lead pastor at a small church in Newhall, and I was there for about 5.5 years, and I was actually trying to get my church to merge with Real Life, and the elders of that church backed out, but I didn't, so that's how I ended up.
So you merged.
Yeah, so I merged and they didn't. Yeah. Yeah, man, been over at Real Life for 2.5 years, and just been working with their other outreach pastor, Steve Myers. He became a friend of mine, and he kept going, "Hey man, when are you gonna come over to Real Life?" And I goes, we'd laugh and joke, and we'd go, "Hey, I'm actually gonna end up over at Real Life. This is weird." And it was a church plant from Shepherd of the Hills, so I knew a lot of guys that were on staff already, and so it was a really natural connection for me.
And Real Life has been around. I remember when the building was being built. When did the doors open at Real Life?
Doors opened in 2000. It was, like I said, it was a church plant from Shepherd of the Hills, and they started out, in the movie theater and moved over to the high school, and then got their building. I believe it's 2010 when their building opened up, and we've been kind of growing ever since.
Well, certainly the community has embraced Real Life Church. It's got a wonderful feel to it. I know a lot of people that go there, and it's with sort of a lack of a better way to describe it, it's kind of a hip young crowd or something like that. It's really got a real feel to it, and I know a lot of people that are over there. And since Real Life has been in the Santa Clarita community, what are so you talk about outreach. What does outreach look like? I mean,
Yeah, everything that we do through the outreach department, whether it's global or local, we do have a global department as well. We go out, out of the United States.
I think Steve Meyer's very involved in that.
Yeah, very much so.
I'm friends with him on Facebook. He seems to be abroad.
Yeah, he goes out a lot.
Right?
Yeah, he sure does. And he's the director of all outreach, both local and global. And so technically, Steve's my boss. It doesn't feel like it. He's such a good friend.
Well, let's talk about what a great guy your boss is.
Yeah, actually, no, he is. He's a really good dude. So everything that we do is relational based. Whether it's working with an organization, we want to have a reciprocal relationship with those folks. So our mission statement for the outreach department kind of ties on to the church's mission statement. We just say, as we help people find and follow Jesus, we want to mobilize the church to serve through relationships that transform the world. So whatever we do, local or global, we want that reciprocal benefit. We don't think we're going to go overseas or attach ourselves to a nonprofit and go, hey, let us show you how to do it. A lot of times, people do things a lot better than we do, and we just need to attach ourselves to what they're doing. Sometimes we see God moving in a way and just go, hey, what do we see God doing? And let's jump on board with that.
Right.
So.
And was that sort of the brainchild or the reasoning behind opening the Savia building?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was to partner well with other nonprofits, to have a church space available. We had Vida Real Church that was meeting there. It was kind of a branch of Real Life, and they just launched out on their own. Turned into Numa Church, who actually meets at at McGrath Elementary School now. Great guy, Pastor Mario Ortiz, really good dude. But we wanted that space. The building is called Savia because we wanted to be, Savia in Latin just means sap or tree sap or lifeblood. And we wanted to be the lifeblood of the community there. And the way we were going to do that was we were going to open it up to some other nonprofits and kind of help subsidize their rent a little bit. And so Single Mothers Outreach, Domestic Violence Center, and Light of Hope are all housed up in that building up there. And we just try to help them just to do the work that God's called them to do, at a lower cost, and just to be able to partner really well with them and let them flourish. So.
Well, there's certainly some, one of the things that I like to get across to not only our clients, but people that I'm talking to in the community, is that there's really, and this may sound strange to some listeners, there really are no problems. There are opportunities for us to come together and look at solutions for these different things. There are opportunities for us to grow. And anytime that I hear when organizations are working together, think about the nature of these organizations, right? Is Single Mothers Outreach, Domestic Violence Center, Light of Hope, all of these organizations are built upon different issues that we have in the community, right?
Yeah.
Divorce and the trouble that goes along with that. Domestic violence, obviously, horrible situations happening there. Light of Hope, which is a organization that is helping with drug and alcohol addiction and families in that whole mess right there. How in the middle of those messes is where the work can be done. That's where the people are coming together and I need the help.
Yeah.
Like I'm really in a spot right now where I need the help. And in the middle of that, I think historically in the Bible as well, is God will step in the middle of these horrible situations and say, I'm right here.
Yeah.
There is a way out, right?
Yeah, that's so great that you said that, because there's so much even going on in our society, right, with all the, shootings and all this stuff, and people naturally ask, hey, where is God and all that? And God is there, and he's there through his people many times, and you just hear the wonderful stories that emerge out of this, wonderful stories of light that emerge out of the darkness, so to speak. And it's just, yeah, I mean, God's there, and it's really great to be a part of working with these other organizations and partnering together to do good in the community.
Right. Something else that happens, though, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's going on over at the Savia building, which, by the way, is located on Newhall Avenue.
Yeah.
What is that little cross street right there?
That's Carl Court.
Carl Court?
Carl Court.
Okay,
Yep.
Carl Court. I'm glad you know.
Yeah.
Carl Court and Newhall Avenue. There's
Yes.
like a drive-through Starbucks on the corner
Yes.
right there.
Yep.
In the back of that parking lot right there is the Savia building. And so anybody that's interested in services or going over there and seeing what's available over there, please do so. Please stop by.
Yeah.
But there's some other wonderful things that are going on inside there. I know every Monday you guys do something with your homeless outreach, correct?
Yeah, we sure do. Yeah, every Monday.
Let's talk about that a little bit, because that's great, fantastic work you guys do.
It's really, really fun. That started, Steve Myers started that a few years ago, and he started just by taking another guy and taking some brown bag lunches down to people in the wash, and it just turned into something really great. And,
I like when something is born sort of organically like that. You got, I don't know how, so Michael McCutcheon and Steve Myers, I don't know how they cross paths, right? Yeah. But all of a sudden, Michael says, hey, I'm going to start going, let's go down in the wash and start talking to these people. Yeah. And I think Michael now lives in like Oregon or something. He's moved,
he's in
right?
Oregon,
But just by being able to go, let's walk down in there and see what's going on down there and see if we can help in any way, all of a sudden this thing is born. Yeah. So go ahead.
Yeah. So it turned in from this, just getting a couple of brown bag lunches to partnering with San Fernando Valley Rescue Mission. They would bring their shower trailer out, once a month over to the Valencia campus and just start feeding people. And then when we opened up Savia, we would kind of go back and forth. And then now exclusively just have it over at Savia. It's just a great place. People feel comfortable there. And so every Monday night we serve a meal. We have an extraordinary clothing section where it's people donate clothing, and we just give it right back out. We got a great team of ladies that fold and sort clothing. I got 4 kids, so I'm really glad that they do it, because laundry is never ending at my house. I try to get them to volunteer at my house. And all of our meals are all home cooked by people in the church, and they bring all that stuff over. We have been given the shower trailer from San Fernando Valley Rescue Mission. They gave it to us because they got a new one.
They did.
They did, yeah. Yeah, so they're amazing. Wade Trimmer from the mission is a really great guy, and just he's committed to helping people through recovery and homelessness too, and just a wonderful guy. It's great to partner with him as well. So we got ourselves the shower trailer, which we just in the middle of remodeling. We do all kinds of. I got a couple nurses from Henry Mayo that stop by, and we do a first aid table. We do showers, haircuts, hygiene kits, stuff like that. But really, I always tell people, hey, the best thing you can do is just grab a plate of food and just have a conversation with somebody. Sit down, say hi, how's the weather, how about them Dodgers, type of stuff, and just people feel loved,
A big part of what we do, and I know a big part of what you do over there, is to help erase the stigma that people have against several issues: drug addiction, mental health issues, homelessness, all kinds of different issues that sort of typically, when we see that, our first reaction is to go, oh, let's stay over here and just kind of leave those people alone or whatever, right? And because I've been there, as I walk down the street, I always make it a point when I see a crowd, I go over there and go, hey, what's your name? Good to meet you, whatever, right? Strike up a conversation. It's not a problem for me. I'm not going in there with any fear. There's no whatever, right? But I do that with my kids as well. I'll take my boys who are walking down the street. I'm let's go say hi to this guy over here. And I know several of the guys that are out here on, on Newhall Avenue that are, homeless that we talk to and stuff. And that's the kind of environment that happens over there on a Monday. Is step on in and we're just one community, and some of us are living in houses and some of us are living in the wash, but let's just have a conversation, right? Yeah.
Actually, what I've done when I first got on staff is I actually pulled off all of our volunteer tags. Right. So we'll have new volunteers come in, and they'll look around. They'll go, hey,
who's who?
Where's all the homeless people at? I said, hey, that's a really good question. So why don't you grab a plate of food and just go sit down and have a conversation with somebody? You might be sitting down talking to someone who looks homeless. They might look homeless, but they might be a millionaire. You never know.
That's right.
And so I just encourage people. Again, relationships are what break down the walls and give people an opportunity to ask for help when they really need it, because a lot of people, they don't know they don't trust you. I'm Italian, I don't trust people either. So, someone offers help and why am I going to trust this person? But once you've sat down and had a few meals with them, that really breaks down barriers, and you're able to really share, maybe what God is doing in your life. And that might be all the difference for somebody.
Well, when we come back, we'll talk more about the wonderful outreach that you guys are doing over at Real Life Church. I have in studio with me today Kevin Pisano. This is the Way Out Recovery Hour. I'm Bob Sharits, and we'll be right back in a minute.
Did you know that SCVI has the only international baccalaureate program in our community? That means that students at Santa Clarita Valley International Public Charter School can participate in very rigorous classes run by highly trained and skilled international teachers. They work with kids to become active, compassionate, and lifelong learners. Students with IB diplomas at select colleges can graduate with a full year credit at their university. Schedule a tour today online at scvi-k12.org or by calling 705-4820.
Aloha, friends! We invite you to come by Honu Coffee, home of the best cold brewed coffee. What makes our coffee special is how our organic coffee beans are infused with nitrogen to create a smooth and delicious cup of coffee. You'll also find traditional bold coffees and island-inspired signature drinks. We're the perfect place to catch up with friends or just relax with your favorite cup of joe. Honu Coffee on Lyons Avenue and Walnut in Newhall. Stop by and say aloha!
You've been assigned to plan your office party. Time to bring in the experts. AV Party Rentals is your go-to place for the most innovative holiday party ideas. AV's been planning Santa Clarita events from giant galas to intimate gatherings for longer than, Well, since Rudolph was a young fawn, AV will turn your office party into a winter wonderland. See the latest holiday displays at Santa Clarita's favorite wedding, party, and holiday event rental store, AV Party Rentals on Newhall Avenue and at avpartyrental.com.
Kick off the holiday season with the festive Light Up Main Street celebration in Old Town Newhall, Saturday, November 18th. The evening is full of holiday performances beginning at 6 p.m. At 7 p.m., the City Council will turn on the lights and transform Main Street into a magnificent winter wonderland. Don't miss your chance to visit with Santa and Mrs. Claus and indulge in delicious food from a variety of food trucks. This year's event will exceed expectations by being bigger, better, and brighter. For event details, including parking and shuttle information, visit oldtownnewhall.com.
This weekend, it's Consumers Furniture's anniversary sale. We have been family-owned and operated in the heart of the Santa Clarita Valley for the past 39 years. We are Santa Clarita's largest furniture store, and this weekend, everything is on sale, plus we are offering 20% off our already low prices. We have a huge selection of custom upholstery and the largest selection of top-grain leather furniture in Southern California. Most of our leather furniture is made in the USA and available in hundreds of colors. Come on in and help us celebrate our 39th anniversary.
Hometown, your hometown station.
I just like the variety of music.
KHTS.
Welcome back to the Way Out Recovery Hour. I'm Bob Sharits, and I am in studio with Pastor Kevin Pisano from Real Life Church. Welcome back. So we were talking about the outreach that you do, but before we go any further, I want to, are there any events or anything that people can get involved in or be a part of at Real Life Church that are coming up? I know we're in the holiday season.
Yeah, gosh, we have four really big things going on. We have our Newhall Library on Thanksgiving Day. We feed about 2,000 people every year, and we're still looking for some volunteers there. I'll tell you in a minute how to get to that. Also in Val Verde at the Community Center, we feed about 500 people a couple days before, so on the 21st.
Okay.
We're right there in the community as well, working with the local sheriff and the community center out there just to feed all the folks that are in Val Verde. We also are doing DCFS, Child and Family Services Office.
Okay.
We've connected really well with them in the past and are still partnering really well with them. We've actually adopted a unit of caseworkers. So we have adopted caseworkers. We don't adopt the kids, we adopt the caseworker and their caseload. So we're looking to fill about 100 gift tags for kids that are in the foster care system. So we're doing that. And then we're also doing about 75 or 80 gift baskets for gals in LA that have been sex trafficked through Saving Innocence. They do a big party, Christmas party for gals that have been saved out of sex trafficking right here in LA.
So how do I get involved in that?
Yeah, so we have on the Real Life Church webpage, it's www.reallifechurch.org. If you go to the main webpage, there's a banner. It says holiday serving opportunities. You can have people go there, and there's just ways to give financially. There's ways to give tangibly as well. So.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds like something that would be really cool for our families to get their kids involved in. You know, I'd love to see my boys out there trying to help out on Thanksgiving Day or something, you know? I think that'd be wonderful.
Yeah, we have so many different organizations showing up and helping out, and Boy Scouts, and we got live music, all kinds of stuff on Thanksgiving Day. That's a really fun event. We give away bikes to some of the kids at the schools. Newman Church has sponsored bikes for kids at McGrath, and we have another organization sponsoring bikes for kids right here at Newhall Elementary. So we have 24 kids that'll get brand new bikes pre-designated by the schools. Kids that are underprivileged, working hard, getting good grades. So we want to reward them, and then we're going to be raffling off another 12 bikes just for kids randomly, and so it's a super fun day. Crafts for kids, all kinds of good stuff.
Well, it's neat. You know, we get a lot of, I'm sure at the church and the different services, you get a lot of families that you work with that are just, you know, like us. Our families come to us and they want to be better examples to their kids, these adults, and they want to be in their kids' lives, and they want to really be helpful. But I'll tell you, there's nothing better than being an example to your kids. And if you spend your life trying to help other people, and there's a lot of opportunities at Real Life and other places trying to help other people, you will be amazed at the things that happen. You know, you were telling me a story about your son on his 12th birthday, right? What's he want for his birthday? He wants to go be of service.
Yeah, he wanted to serve at homeless outreach in the community. You know, that night. It was actually his birthday on Monday,
right.
and I said, hey, I was gonna just let my volunteers handle it, and he said, hey, I said, what do you want to do for your birthday? He goes, I want to serve at homeless outreach.
Yeah.
So man.
And we can tell our kids all day long to be of service, but when we're doing it, you know, they're looking for that. You know, we teach our kids to look for opportunities to be of service, and there's a lot of them coming up. So go to the reallifechurch.org, right, website, and click on holiday service.
Holiday serving opportunities. Yep.
Holiday serving opportunities, or get in touch with the church, call them directly, and see how you can be of service through the holiday season. You know, we live in a community where for the most part, everybody out here is going to get everything they want. They're going to be eating every day. Yeah. But there is there are several different entities and sections of our community of people that can't afford to do that, and they're looking for some help. You know, and what a better way to give than to get out there and be of service to your fellow man.
Yeah, absolutely.
So some other things that are going on at the church. Celebrate Recovery always catches my eye. Can you tell us a little bit about Celebrate Recovery and where it's happening at your church?
Yeah, Celebrate Recovery is ran by Pastor Juan Palomino. Really great guy. He's happens to be our regional area director for Celebrate Recovery. He's actually trying to get some more Celebrate Recovery. So if there's anybody out there listening, they want to start a CR at their church or building.
And Celebrate Recovery is a nationally recognized organization, correct?
Yes,
They're
it
big organization.
Yeah, big organization, yeah. Yep, so at Real Life, we meet every Friday night. 6 o'clock is dinner, 7 o'clock we have a teaching time, and then breakout groups after that.
Every Friday?
Every Friday. Yep.
At the main church in Valencia?
Yeah, at the Valencia campus,
At the Valencia campus, Celebrate Recovery. And Celebrate Recovery catches my eye just because, it's in the world of recovery primarily from drug and alcohol use, but there are many issues that people look at when they're at Celebrate Recovery. It's not exclusive to drug and alcohol, correct?
That's correct, yeah. So if someone's dealing with anxiety, if they're dealing with anger, if they're dealing with overeating, we have little subgroups, for most of the issues out there. We always say Celebrate Recovery is for everybody. It's for anybody that's got a hurt habit or hang up. And if you look at
everybody,
which is everybody,
if you're honest
right?
with yourself.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So so I'm actually teaching this Friday. We're going to be talking about relapse this Friday.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay, very nice. Yeah. So again, Friday at 6 o'clock.
Yep. 6 o'clock is dinner. 7 o'clock is the teaching time.
Great.
Yeah.
And you guys also have some mental health workshops, mental health groups. What goes on over there with NAMI is the one who runs it, right? That's the National Alliance on Mental Illness is NAMI.
Yeah. If you went to our care page, we have a care pastor, Tony Montijo, great guy. I've known Tony for years too, and he's organizing all of our groups through NAMI. We also, once a month, first Monday of every month, we have Department of Mental Health, the one that's over on Cinema Drive. They come out and actually set up a little pop-up shop for us over at Savia, and they just engage people that walk in, just making sure people are okay. Especially during the holidays. I know it can be a really, a struggling time for a lot of people, and so we just want to be there for people, and so we bring in people that know how to work with people best, and so, they set up shop there as well. So.
Well, it's wonderful. I mean, you talked about it a little bit earlier, but not reinventing the wheel, right? Coupling with other organizations that are in the community that are already, they're professionals, they're experts. So you get Department of Mental Health, who's been around forever, and they've been dealing exclusively with mental health issues, rather than try to start a whole new thing on your own and try to teach people how to do that, just partnering with these organizations and bringing them in.
Yeah, like we talked before, I was just sharing that I'm a connecting type of person. I like connecting with folks, and we don't need to reinvent the wheel. We don't need to come up with everything. There's great programs already out there, and we want to do our best to partner with folks that are doing great work in the community, and just jump on board and see what God's doing in their organization, and jump on board with what God's doing already, and just help lift those things up.
So some of the organizations that you are that are involved with Real Life Church or partnered up with Real Life Church. Can we just kind of go over if there's people listening, right, and they need any of these kind of services? I'm sure that we're probably not going to get to everybody that you're involved with.
Yeah.
You guys have your, you have your reach pretty well in Santa Clarita.
Yeah.
But some of them that we mentioned, does a lot of it take place in the Savia building or directly out of the church?
Both, yeah. Yeah, it's both. We partner really well with, Help the Children's a great organization out here in Santa Clarita. They have a food pantry over in Valencia, and they're really awesome. They're a Christian-based organization, and when we did our Halloween event for the first time this year, we coupled a canned food drive with it. So we said, hey, anybody who wants to come in, you can come in for free with a canned food item. So we got about 5,000 or 6,000 canned food items donated.
That was a trunk or treat.
That was our trunk or treat.
That was the first one, huh?
That was the first time we did canned food drive. So
okay.
So I was, I shoot for the stars. So I wanted more. I wanted to help the community more. But next year it'll be bigger, better. We partner with them really well, and we're able to send people over there and just get people food. I know that they really cater to a group that's maybe a working class family that's got some income but just isn't cutting it.
Help the children.
Help the children. Yeah, they're off Avenue Tibbetts. Mike Santamaro is the director over at the Santa Clarita branch over there, and he's just such a great guy, and he loves our community desperately too. And so it's good to partner with him. So food pantry that way. We're just starting to work a little bit with Children's Hunger Fund. They're right over in Sylmar, and they do a lot of stuff globally as well. We're just reaching out to them. We do a lot of stuff with Child and Family Services. Like I said, we adopted some social workers. And
that's a neat, so talk a little more about that, because that's a really neat concept right there. We're not adopting the kid, we're adopting the social worker, and then we get the whole family with them, right?
Yeah. So it's really great because DCFS, if you don't know, their main goal
Department of Child and Family Services, right?
Yep. So we work at the SPA 2 office in Valencia. They're right off the 5 freeway and New Hall Ranch Road kind of area-ish. And their main goal is to get families reunited. So families that have struggled with drug addiction or abuse, and their main goal is to get them back on their feet and get their kids back at home where they belong. And sometimes that doesn't always happen. People aren't ready for their kids to get given back to them. But we just try to help out as best we can. So we adopt a social worker because we're not allowed to really work with the kids because it's all confidential work. So we work with the caseworkers, and if there's a need, sometimes reunification just means the kid needs to sleep in a bed. They're not allowed to sleep on the floor. Well, the family can't afford a bed, so we'll try to look out in the community, see if anyone's got a bed or they want to purchase a bed for the family, and 9 times out of 10 it shows up. So
yeah, that's neat. When you're over the years there's been a lot of sort of controversy around social media and oh my God, and but social media and the way that we're connected today makes things like that so much easier. It's nice to be able to be that connected that quickly.
Yeah.
I'm really involved in my own personal recovery program, and I have a community of recovering people that I'm always in contact with, and we're friends on Facebook and all that different stuff. And when somebody new comes into the program, and same thing, like they're looking for work, they might be looking for a place to stay, they might be looking for whatever, we put it out to our community and get the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you need a bed? So-and-so's got one in his garage, It's just a hookup like that.
Yeah.
So it's so neat to be able to be in the middle of that right there.
Yeah.
So you work with the social workers, you get kind of a list.
Yeah,
they come back and say, "Here's what they need."
Yeah, they send us a monthly needs list, and I always say I'm never going to promise anything, but let's just see what we can do.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, and again, 9 times out of 10, we get that whole list taken care of in that month, and we're getting families back together, we're getting kids taken care of, and some of these kids they get bumped around from house to house to house. We actually have an initiative called One More, and that's our foster care initiative, and we do 4 or 5 different things through that. So we have bags pre-packed that we actually keep at DCFS office. Okay. So if there's a child gets taken on an emergency basis and a foster family has this kid, a lot of times they just get what's on their back, and so we have pre-packed bags. So at least it'll get them by for a couple days. So we have pre-packed bags. We allow the teen club that's run by DCFS to meet once a month over at Savia. They meet on the third Monday of the month. We just give them space, feed the kids, make sure they're taken care of, make sure they know that they're loved by someone in the community, right?
Right.
And then we do our adopt a social worker program, and we also have a foster care support group once a month as well, first Monday of every month over at our Valencia campus. So if there's anybody out there fostering a kid and they need some credit hours, they need some monthly hours, they can come to our foster care group, our support group. They can get the monthly hour, they can get their credit hours. We use an organization called Koinonia, and so they run the actual support group so that they can give them credit hours. And then there's actually some DCFS workers that go to real life, and so they've joined the group as well. So if anyone has any struggles or any issues, we have a couple of these caseworkers that are able to answer questions right on the spot. It's really awesome.
Yeah, that's neat stuff. And you hear, it's almost like here's our job, just to try to ease the suffering as much as we possibly can, right? Yeah. Anytime I hear about, I've had a lot of interactions with DCFS, professionally, personally, with people that I've worked with, and reunification is always the goal.
Yes.
Always the goal. Reunification services. And it's not always possible to do that because of whatever circumstances. But you start to, when you're working in places like that, you start to see the real damage that some of the things like drug addiction, I would almost say primarily drug addiction, but certainly there's other issues. But you start to see what kind of damage really is done by drug addiction, by alcoholism, by violence, by some of the stuff that goes on in our society,
Yep.
And to be able to ease that suffering a little bit is tremendous. Tremendous.
Yeah, I would even say so much as to actually help bring hope to the situation, not just ease suffering. I always want to do more than that. I want to see someone get back on their feet. You know? I want to see some success in people's life, and that goes whether that's through our One More initiative or whether it's through our renewal homeless outreach. I want to help people get to that next level, and whatever that is, that's pointing them to way out recovery. If someone's struggling with drugs and alcohol, man, I'm gonna point them to you and say, hey, these are the pros. Here's how you get to the next level of success in your life.
Well, I know that for me personally, and for a lot of people that I've worked with, is that feeling so very hopeless, and then coming across a group of people or a person or a situation where I start to see or feel that hope for the first time can make all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
It does make all the difference in the world, and that can, but it absolutely makes all the difference in the world. And and for me, that's what kept me going.
Yeah.
That's what got me in recovery. Was I saw that and I said, oh, maybe I can do it too.
Yeah.
Maybe I can too. It's not absolutely hopeless, although it feels like that sometimes.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So, are you guys working at all? You interact with Bridge to Home?
Yeah, we do. I'm actually on the board at Bridge to Home.
Okay.
So we work with Bridge to Home. Bridge to Home is literally right down the walkway from our Savia building, and same thing. We just try to partner people. Whenever I have someone new to the area that's homeless, one of the first things I said, hey, have you connected with Bridge to Home yet? And they got their shelter that's going to be opening up November 20th. It's opening up real soon here.
Yeah.
So I always try to point people to them. They got some great caseworkers right now. Awesome group of folks, and they're just trying to get people connected. And it just seems like over the last 6 months, things have been really breaking loose for people who are homeless and really want to get off the streets. That we've had a number of our guests that come on Monday night that have connected with Bridge to Home, that have found supportive housing, and are doing well. Yeah, so it's been good to see. I don't know if it's that Measure H funding coming in. I don't know exactly what's been breaking loose. So.
Well, it's neat when all the services start to come together, where you can take someone who is walking in for a meal, and inside of that building are all those different services, or people showing up and having those conversations and saying, and then next thing you know, they're able to get some housing, they're able to get some employment, they're able to get some medical services, they're able to get some mental health services if they need, and all those different things, and to watch them thrive and go back into the community, and maybe even come back and volunteer later on.
Yeah, and actually we've had a couple of those cases. I got a young gal named Katie, and her and her mom were volunteering volunteering for several weeks in a row, and
Right.
and I just said, hey, how'd you know about us?
She's like, "I
Just
used to
hear
come."
it from church, and she goes, you guys have no idea what this has done for me. And I'm thinking from a volunteer aspect, I said, oh yeah, volunteering is always makes you feel good, and it's great to give back. And she goes, no, I used to attend on Monday
Right.
nights. She goes, I used to be high on meth, and she goes, I was strung out. She goes, and this was the only place that I really felt I can come. I wasn't judged. I felt loved, and she goes, really, that was one of the kickstarts for me. And so she's been able to share that story a couple times with some of our guests. And
Well, it's neat.
Yeah.
You got to experience that same thing that you said you passed on earlier. Go have a conversation, and you never know
Yeah.
who you're having a conversation
yeah,
with.
that's right. Yeah, so true. Yeah, yeah. I didn't know who I was having a
That's
conversation.
right. That's
Yeah.
what I mean.
Yeah, so cool.
Yeah, that's neat stuff.
Yeah.
When we come back, we will let everybody know how they get involved in the volunteer opportunities again, either
Yeah.
at Real Life or at the Homeless Outreach on Mondays or any of the events that we have coming up. This is the Way Out Recovery Hour. I'm Bob Sharits, and we'll be back in a few minutes.
Drugs or alcohol abuse can tear a family apart. In Santa Clarita, just like everywhere else, it's an epidemic. The Way Out Recovery is here to help. Call them now at 296-4444 or visit them on the web at thewayoutrocoveryscv.com. The Way Out offers outpatient treatment for adolescents, adults, and family members. The Way Out is compassionate, caring, professional, and confidential. You and your family don't have to suffer any longer. Call the Way Out Recovery now, 296-4444, or visit thewayoutrocoveryscv.com and make an appointment. Asking for help is the first step.
Did you know that nearly 1 in 3 women will experience domestic violence in her lifetime? And in Santa Clarita, our community supports its own domestic violence center with a shelter home, 24-hour crisis hotline, and bilingual counseling programs. If you or someone you know needs help, we're here. The 24-hour crisis hotline number is 259-HELP. For more information, go to dvcsantaclarita.com because no one should tolerate domestic violence. 259-HELP.
Coming soon to the Canyon Santa Clarita, Gin Blossoms, Eddie Money, Chris Christopherson, Timothy B. Schmidt, Petula Clark, Tower of Power, Berlin, Todd Rundgren, Jefferson Starship, John Hyatt, The Spinners, Doc In, Lynch Mod, English Beat, Sinbad, Cinderella's Tom Kiefer, Ricky Lee Jones, Ambrosia, Donovan Frankenreiter, Boogie Nights, and many more. Soulful Sunday brunch every Sunday, country nights on Wednesdays, and they're the perfect place to host your holiday parties and special events. The Canyon Santa Clarita, where music meets the soul. Tickets available through Ticketmaster.
KHTS.
Welcome back to the Way Out Recovery Hour. I'm Bob Sharits, and I am in studio with Pastor Kevin Pisano, who is an outreach specialist with Real Life Church. We have been talking about some really, really awesome stuff. Ever since Real Life landed in the Santa Clarita community, the Santa Clarita has been better for it. There's been so many people. I don't think you could put the number of on people that have been helped just because you have this organization that lands and everybody in that organization all of a sudden, or maybe some of them have, the awareness that there are a lot of people to help and pushing that sort of message out there, it just like ripples, takes off. So we are, as a Santa Clarita native, I am grateful to have such wonderful people in our community.
Thanks, man. It's such a good thing to hear that too, because I don't know how many churches out there feel that or hear that about what they're doing in the community, and it's just such a great honor to be in the community and just to hear the positive response.
Well, God's work is all about doing the right thing and all about changing into the better and just trying to better the world, and that is God's work.
Amen, yep.
And so anybody who's out there doing that work,
Yeah.
Right on. God bless, man.
Thanks.
Cool. It's
Yeah.
good stuff.
Thank you.
We talked about a lot of the outreach. Let's go over, because I know some listeners are going to want to get involved with helping others in any capacity that they can, especially this time of year. So the holiday service opportunities.
Yeah, so holiday service opportunities. Once again, we got that big event at the Newhall Library on Thanksgiving Day. Right. It takes about $15,000 to pull that event off. We got about 10 raised so far. And again, I'm not. It is a community event. It's not a real life church event. It's a community event. So we've had some other churches throw in some funds, but we could use a little bit of financial help.
So donate $20.
Yeah, man. Well, we always say $25 feeds a family of 4.
Right. That's right.
And we actually have donation receipts with the actually real life churches funneling the money this year. Each church will take it on different years. We're just happen to be doing it this year. So again, we need about another $5,000 to break even on this thing. And again, we got all kinds of really fun stuff that day for kids. And if you want to serve, you can bring your family out that day. It's awesome. We will be having some iPads out there. So if you want to give that day, we'll be able to take donations that day.
Okay, great. And like me and my boys could show up and serve?
Yeah, absolutely. If you go to our, there's a couple different ways you can serve there. You can go to the Real Life Church page and look at that holiday serving opportunity, and someone will contact you with our Sign Up Genius, or you can go to we have a Facebook page called Giving Thanksgiving SCV.
Okay.
If you go to that Facebook page, our Sign Up Genius is right on that Facebook page, and you can
Giving
sign up.
Thanksgiving SCV.
Giving Thanksgiving SCV. Yep.
Okay. And then a couple of days before that in Valverde?
Yeah, in Valverde, we have some good opportunities to cook food. We need, last time I looked, it was about a couple days ago, we still needed about another 30 or 40 turkeys cooked.
Okay.
So we'll definitely need some help cooking turkeys. You can just bring them right to the community center. That you would have to go to the holiday serving opportunities page at the Real Life Church website, plug in some basic information, and we'll have someone contact you on that, and we'll get you that Sign Up Genius link. So Christmas stuff, DCFS. We have about 85 to 100 tags. We want to help provide Christmas for a kid in foster care. When you start looking at some of those tags, I don't know when you were thinking when you're a little kid, hey, I want toys. Some of these kids are asking for jackets. They don't have jackets.
Right.
So that's some of the stuff that you see on those lists. So again, reallifechurch.org. Go to that holiday serving opportunities page. We have DCFS tags, gift tags, and then also our Saving Innocence. We're doing gift baskets. Gift baskets, we're trying to keep them at about $75 to $100 for those gals that have been saved out of sex trafficking through Saving Innocence. They're an awesome organization, and they're having a holiday party down in LA, and we're going to bring those baskets there. So again, reallifechurch.org, serving opportunities page. And you sign up there.
And every Monday, homeless outreach at Savia Building. Can I just show up to be of service, or do I have to contact somebody to be of service there?
Yeah, I always tell someone to just show up on a Monday night and just check it out. Sometimes it's not for everybody.
What time is that?
We start setting up about 5:30. We pray and start serving dinner at 6 o'clock. We usually go till about 7:30.
Okay.
Yep.
Kevin, it's been wonderful having you on here.
Thanks,
I appreciate it very much. Keep doing the wonderful work that you're doing. Any last message you want to get out to this community of ours?
Just so grateful for all the people in our community that go to Real Life, and all of our volunteers from Real Life. Just thankful for all the other churches and organizations out there that we partner with. Just so grateful to be out in the community, just working with so many awesome people. So thanks.
All right. God bless, my brother.
Thanks, bro.
This is the Way Out Recovery Hour. I'm Bob Sharits, and this has been another wonderful episode. We'll see everyone next week.
I've seen tears like this on my girl.